the lesson tight corners. Okay, are you ready? Okay, fine. Now, the lesson starts. Tight corners means here it is an idiomatic expression, students, right? A particularly difficult or awkward situations happened in our day-to-day life. That situation, especially one that is not easy to get out of. Now, do you understand? Tight corners, literal meaning, you know that, but the idiomatic expression meaning is difficult situation. Before going to share the incidents happened by the author E.V. Lucas in the lesson, let me know about the author's introduction. Okay. What is the author's name? Very good, E.V. Lucas. But do you know the full name of E.V. Lucas? Right, Edward Verall Lucas. Okay, fine. He was born in a Quaker family. The name of the family is Quaker family. And that group began in the year 1650s. There is a group of family called Quaker family, right? Okay. E.V. Lucas was born on 12th June 1868 and he died on 26th June 1938. When E.V. Lucas started his journey of life, first of all, he joined in a bookseller company as an apprentice. Do you know in which age he joined there? Very nice. At the age of 13, he joined as an apprentice in the bookseller company. Then he had been working in that particular company. Then he turned to a journalist, right? After becoming journalist, he worked on London News magazine. And when he was a worker in the London magazine, he was in a mood of writing poems, plays, essays, and so on. Now, dear students, our author E.V. Lucas is an English humorist. Do you know the meaning for humorist? Yes, that is right. Humor is nothing but he wanted to make fun of his events and stories in his writings. Very, very good, very good. And he was an essayist, playwright, biographer, publisher, poet, short story writer. He has written a number of short stories and also an editor of a magazine. Right? Okay. As an editor, I would like to give an example about Charles Lamb's works. Actually, Charles Lamb is a poet. Here, E.V. Lucas, the preeminent editor of Charles Lamb's all works and the biographer of Charles Lamb. You know the meaning for biographer? Yes, that is right. One who has written the life history of others is called biographer. Here, E.V. Lucas has written the life history of Charles Lamb. So, he was the biographer of Lamb. Now here comes the title of the lesson, Tight Corners. See here, my dear students, the writings of Lucas are marked by humor. Most of his writings are marked by humor. Here in this lesson, what is the title of the lesson? Very good, Tight Corners. Tight Corners is a good example of his humor. Have you read the articles of E.V. Lucas? No? Very good. Now listen. This is the a good example of humor by the author E.V. Lucas. Now, what type of tight corners here mentioned? There are two types of tight corners mentioned. One is physical and the other one is mental. Okay. Can you tell me what do you mean by physical tight corners? Yes, that is right. Physical tight corners only we feel in our physique, in our body. When we do some type of activities or actions, there we find some type of difficulties. That difficulty is called as physical difficulty. That situation is called as physical situation. And also, there is also called as mental tight corner. Mental tight corner is more worse than physical one. Do you understand? Physical work, okay, fine. We have been doing work. During the work, we had sweated a lot. But when we do the work related our mind, we find a number of difficult situations in our activities. So, see here, my dear students, mental tight corners are worse than physical one. That is why the author E.V. Lucas clearly mentioned here the mental tight corners facing a lot of difficulties. This narration involves a man with his friend here. Now, before sharing about the tight corners stories, let me share about 4 friends talk about their critical situations. Okay. The first man, see the picture. The first man was caught by the tide in Brittany. What do you mean by Brittany? Very good. Which place? Which country? It is the region of French Peninsula. Brittany is the region of French Peninsula. There a man was caught by the tide, the huge waves. He was caught by the huge waves. And my dear students, there in your textbook you find that particular man escaped by the skin of his teeth. There is a line given there in the textbook. Do you find the line there? Yes, that is a line. A student, read the line. Very good. That is the line. A man was caught by the tide in the Brittany and escaped the skin of his teeth. What do you mean by escape the skin of his teeth? Please, students, don't take the literal meaning here, the skin of his teeth. Skin, you know the meaning in Tamil. Teeth, you know the meaning in Tamil. But here, the particular man who caught by the tide in the Brittany escaped not the skin and not the teeth. Okay, fine, understand. The skin of his teeth means escaped narrowly. Right? It is an idiomatic expression like, what is the title? Very good. Tight corners. Tight corner is an idiom. The same type of idiom is here, skin of his teeth. Right? You have to understand about this idiom. And you find this idiom is the representation of narrow escape. Right? Okay, dear students. First man, the critical situation we have seen. See the picture, second picture. The second man was on an elephant. Have you seen there? Yes, a man was sitting on an elephant. Now see there, the next picture, and he was attacked by a wounded tiger. A man was sitting there on an elephant and he was attacked by a wounded tiger. This is the second tight corner. You can imagine whether that particular man was attacked by the physical or mental. We can discuss afterwards, right? The third man, see here, it is a storied building. We find in the picture, the third man was caught on the third story of a burning building. And he was also escaped. So this is the tight corner. This is the critical situation faced by the third man. You find there in the storied building. The fourth was torpedoed. See here, a picture is given here. The fourth man was torpedoed. Anyone tell me the meaning for torpedoed? Yes, it is there in the book. Torpedoed means a bomb to destroy a thing. Here, the fourth man was bombed and the ship was sunk into the sea, and the man was also escaped from the incident. This is the critical situation happened there. See here, an action which represents underwater missiles being launched by submarines. Do you understand? Now, we have seen 4 critical situations faced by 4 men. The first man, can anyone tell me what happened to the first man? Okay, fine. He was in the tide and escaped from the tide in the French peninsula. Very good. Second man, very good. He was attacked by a wounded tiger. Third man, okay, in the third storied building, he was escaped from the burning fire. Very good. Fourth one, the fourth man was torpedoed. Okay. Now after seeing this critical situations happened by the 4 man, now here comes the title, the prose tight corners. One man said there, we talk about physical tight corners, but they are tighter when they are mental. Now do you understand now? Now we have seen 4 critical situations. Now imagine among the 4 critical situations, which is physical and which is mental. Here, one man said, see, we have been talking about the physical tight corners and mental tight corners. Physical tight corners are very easiest one, but they are tighter. Suppose if the physical tight corners are tighter, when they are tighter, when they are mental, when they are included to the mental tight corner, most of them were in danger, right? The mental tight corners occurred at Christie's. See here, there is a auction hall. The auction hall name is Christie's. That hall named after Christie's. There you find a number of things have been sold, and there are number of bidders entered there. They were sitting in the hall. There you see the name of the hall, Christie's. The mental tight corners occurred there at Christie's. Why? Why was the mental tight corner occurred there at Christie's? Because all of them are in a mood to buy. They are bidding over all the pictures and other things there at Christie's. So they have mentally tight. Here, the author and his friend went to take lunch at a club. They went to take lunch at a club in James Street, right? In London, with his old friend. So, the author and his friend went to the James Street to take lunch. See, when they finished lunch, his friend only took the author to the art gallery. Do you know what is the name of the art gallery? Very good, Christie's. Who took the author to the art gallery, Christie's? Yes, his friend only took him to the art gallery. The author was bidding like a plutocrat. What do you mean by plutocrat, my dear students? Yes, it is a blended word. 2 words are there. One is Plato, the other one is aristocrat. The 2 words are combined into one, and you will have the blended word plutocrat. Here, the author was bidding like a plutocrat. Now, plutocrat means a very rich man. Now, do you understand? See, the author was bidding like a very rich man in the Christie's. His friend warned him, but he did not listen to him. During that time, a new picture was put up for an action. Okay, a new picture. The name of the picture was Daugni. Do you know the meaning for Daugni? Yes, I'll tell you. Daugni was one of the painters of the Barbizon school. Right? He was a painter. So the picture which was painted by Daugni was put up for auction. So immediately the author saw the picture, and during that time a shock came to the author. What was the shock? A short, red-faced man electrified the room. Yes, a bidder, a rich bidder, electrified the room. What do you mean electrified? Came into the room with a shock. So, a gigantically man came into the room. That red-faced man started bidding to 4,000 gunyas. The author's friend again warned the author not to bid like this. Right? Again warned him. See, the author ignored his friend's advice. He did not listen the advice of the author. Why did he not listen? He expected somebody announced a higher offer than him. Right? That author expected somebody announced him a higher offer. So, the narrator increased the bidding 4,000 to 4,050. Within a fraction of a second, a voice heard 50. That voice is meant by the author. Then, terrible silence followed at Christie's. Why was the terrible silence followed? See, 4,000 guineas auction started, and immediately the author raised 50 guineas. So, on raising the auction, terrible silence followed at Christie's. That time, narrator's expectation was failed by the red-faced man. He did not have enough money to buy the picture. Why was the author's heart stopped and congealed the blood? Students, why was the author's heart stopped and the blood congealed? Yes, right. That's right answer. He did not have enough money to buy the picture. So, the heart stopped and the blood congealed. It is thickened, the blood is thickened as if frozen. He did not need the picture at all, my dear student. So, he did not have enough money. It is first side. The second one, he did not need the picture. And also know that he did not even know the importance of the picture. So, he did not have money, he did not need the picture, and even he did not know the importance of the picture. So, on seeing all the actions which was done by the author, his friend was laughing at him in a corner. He went into a corner and laughed at him. He was thinking about the particular problem. He did not know what to do the next. That is why he was pondering over the problem. During that time, picture after picture was put up and sold. Many pictures were being put up and being sold. He was thinking and running over names of uncles and other persons, my dear students. The author was thinking And running over names. Do you know what do you mean by running over names? So he was thinking to get help from others. Even the names of uncles, he thought about it. To get help, that means to get money for buying the picture. No one, the Christies, would believe that it was a mistake. See here, even at Christie's, the organizers, no one would believe that it was a mistake made by the author. Now here the confession started by the author. He wanted to confess his foolishness. He thought that it was not a mistake, it was a foolishness thing. The narrator was thinking about whom to borrow money from. Or he wanted to confess the poverty to the organizers at Christie's, right? He wanted to confess, dear organizers, I was not in a position to give the money to buy the picture. So he wanted to confess about his poverty. But at Christie's, the staff would not believe that it was a mistake. So finally, the sales came to an end. The buyers were writing checks. See, all the buyers who bought pictures were writing checks to get the pictures. And at Christie's, the organizers were giving instructions to complete the sale. That time, the narrator wanted to be the last to receive the picture after giving money. So he was thinking about the names of persons and uncles' names. No. During that time, again, his friend deserted from that place. He went out of the place. This was the second time, dear students. Where did the author's friend go from that place? The narrator's friend disappeared from the bidding place to talk to the red-faced bidder. So, to help his friend, the author, his friend went to talk to the red-faced bidder. What was the discussion going on there? The author's friend convinced the bidder to get the picture again from the narrator. So he went to the red-faced man. Who went? Dear students, who went to the red-faced man? Yes, the author's friend. He went to the red-faced man and convinced him, so that he deserted from the place for the second time. Now the turn of events happened. Then something unexpected event happened. The red-faced man bought that painting from the narrator by paying 100 guineas more. So after the discussion was over, then the red-faced man sent a messenger to the narrator, right? See, the red-faced man did not approach the author, but the red-faced man sent a messenger to approach the narrator, and that messenger asked the narrator the picture which was auctioned by him. The picture was given away to the other bidder. The narrator now was saved from humiliation and exhibited from his guile. Now he was saved from his humiliation and exhibited and came away from his cunning. Here we find the narrator thought that it was a mistake, and he realized two things from this incident. What were the two things? The first one, the narrator's friend only invited him to the Christie's. First one. And he was not in a position to buy the pictures, but he was bidding over. So after the auction was over, he was in a position to get 100 guineas more. Now, dear students, there you find the exercises. Do you know exercises? You find 15 questions followed by a crossword puzzles and idiomatic expressions, words and meanings matching. So, 3 types of exercises you find there. First 15 questions are there. For example, what is the full name of E.V. Lucas? Yes, what is the full name? Edward Verall Lucas. And when was E.V. Lucas born? When was E.V. Lucas died? Like that you find 15 questions followed by a vocabulary called auction house puzzler. In the auction house puzzler, you find a puzzled column and you find 5 words, 4 words in across and 4 words in downwards. Then you know the meaning. Then followed by the last one, matching. So here I recall once again, the tight corners is nothing but to know that there are 2 types of difficult situations. One is physical, the another one is mental. And I recall again to you, dear students, the 4 incidents. The first one, a man was caught by tide. The second one, a man was pondered over by an elephant. The 4 incidents were physical tight corners. But here, the author's incident was the mental tight corners. Finally, I would like to remind you, the 4 incidents are in physical tight corners. The author's incident is the mental tight corner. Okay, fine. Thank you very much.